Ooh, that is pretty. Yes, that is stunning. Is this a Morphe palette I'm using right now? Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are going to be playing with a brand new palette from Morphe. I have in front of me the 18S Sunset Beats palette. I was browsing Morphe's website, checking out their What's New section, and I saw this and I was super drawn in. Some of my commenters recently have told me that the Morphe 18 pan palettes are actually really good. We all know, unfortunately, that with the Morphe branded palettes, outside of their collaborations, tend to be really inconsistent, to be honest. So I am hoping that this one is a good one. The colors are absolutely beautiful. They just scream spring and summer. I feel like you could really create a ton of different looks using this palette. I do prefer smaller palettes. It's kind of my thing. Yes, 18 shades is still quite a bit, but it's definitely better than the 35 pan palettes. Not that there's anything wrong with those. Just for me, I'm thinking like everyday use and ease of use. It's just nicer to have something that's a little bit more condensed, breaks it down. There's a lesser of a chance for repeat shades, which is another thing that a lot of people critique Morphe, their larger palettes, is that there's just 5,000 slightly different versions of the same shade. Yes, they are artistry palettes, but I can kind of see where people are coming from at the same time. So we're gonna go ahead and go over some swatches. Obviously, we are going to create a look together. This is my first time using this palette. I haven't used it on my eyes yet. So again, true first impressions. Once we create the look, obviously I'll zoom you guys in so you can get a good idea of how well this palette works. So let's jump into it and let's play with the 18S Sunset Beats palette. So one thing I do want to mention off the bat, there is a mirror in this palette, and it's actually a really good quality mirror. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's not distorted. It's nice and clear, and it is a very nice large size. So I can definitely appreciate that. Other than that, you've got your standard kind of ASMR cardboard packaging. Should I make an ASMR channel? I have really thought about this. I'm one of those people that absolutely loves ASMR. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about some swatches now. The metallics were actually more impressive upon swatching than some of the mattes in this palette, which is unusual for a Morphe palette. Usually it's the other way around. I find that the mattes are just perfectly fine. They tend to blend really well. They tend to swatch really well, and the metallics are where it usually falls short. Now that doesn't mean that the shades in this palette don't work, but just going off of swatches, just something to take note of. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in, and then yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's go ahead and create a look. Now that I got you guys up close and personal on my face, I'm starting to see myself that I didn't really blend in my brow right there, but whatever, who cares? I don't know what look I'm going to create just yet, but I can't help it. I am so drawn into this bright shade right here. Note, no shades are printed on the palette. They do come on the plastic. A lot of you have said, oh, you can just glue it right here, but we've got a mirror now, so maybe I'll have to put it on the back or something. Who knows? I don't know. It's just one of those things. I wish the shades were on the palette. So Solar Flare is the shade that I'm totally into. So we're definitely feeling that. I think we're gonna go ahead though and start off with this shade right here, just to kind of lay something down, get a base going. I did prime my eyes with the Urban Decay primer potion, just the original, and then I did set it down with the Jeffree Star Magic Star setting powder. So this shade seems to have actually a little bit of pigment in it, but I think it'll work perfect with that pink shade that I want to use, that bright coral. Yeah, that's actually kind of a really pretty transition shade. It pulls a little bit different actually on the lid. And this would be beautiful for really if you just wanted like a simple everyday look. It's one of those transition shades that just is effortless, I like to call it. It just carves out the eyes and gives you a beautiful contour, and you can be on your way. So for this, I should mention I am using a ColourPop brush. This is an E15. This is from their Rose Gold, I think it was a Rose Gold brush roll. These brushes are so good for synthetic brushes. They are fantastic. So that shade seemed to lay down nicely, feels super soft, looks nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it. We're gonna start building up this shade. I do think I'm gonna start off with this over here, Orange Sky. I'm gonna take this ColourPop brush from the same collection. This is an E16. Very similar to my favorite Morphe brush, the M433, I believe it is. Obviously, we're gonna be creating a little bit of a more fun, bright look today. So I'm gonna pick up some of that pigment and I'm gonna aim it right into the crease. And I kind of want to just keep that right in the center. I think I want to put a few different shades down. I'm starting to think now that maybe that transition shade I put down might not have been totally necessary for this, but I also didn't expect it to be as pigmented as it was. So it is what it is. That's really pretty. I'm really impressed so far. It's blending easily. It's definitely got pigmentation. I didn't pick up a ton on my brush. It doesn't look muddy or anything. I don't feel that I'm losing any pigmentation as I'm blending. My plan is I think I want to put this orange sky shade right here, and then I want to take this kind of muted yellow right here called Sundays and put that here, and then take Solar Flare and kind of keep that on the outer part of the eye. So I think that that will be really pretty. We may even have to go a little bit crazy and dip into that glitter. Maybe I'll put that in the inner corners. That could be pretty. Now I don't see anywhere on here, maybe on the box it might have said it and I got rid of the box already. I am not sure if these glitters are eye safe, so I am super sorry for that, you guys. I am an idiot and I threw the box away prematurely. All right, so I think that we are built up there. I'm gonna stick with the same brush, the E16, and now I'm gonna dip into that beautiful bright coral shade Solar Flare. So pretty, I'm so excited. And we're gonna put that kind of on the outer edge here and blend that into that orange shade. I'm just gonna kind of bring that down, following the natural shape of my eye. Ooh, that is pretty. Guys, that is stunning. Is this a Morphe palette I'm using right now? You guys see what I'm talking about? Sometimes it's like that inconsistency, but so far, 3 out of 3, these are blending and just looking beautiful on the eye. I'm really pleased. Now, like I said, I liked how the metallics swatched. I sure hope that they perform the same on the eyes. I'm gonna pick up more of that, to build it up and just put it more on the outer part of the eye here, on the outer V. I'm angling my brush this way so that I can get kind of like that nice kind of cat eye effect, which is hard for me to achieve because I have such hooded eyes, but that's what we're going for today. I'm really trying to step out of my comfort zone with eye looks. I finally just tried a cut crease yesterday as I was playing in my room. I was waiting for Sims 4 to download. Yes, something to pass the time. I love Sims. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you were obsessed with that game as well when you were growing up. I was just like, I'm just gonna pick up some makeup. Let's try a cut crease. And it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. So I think we're gonna stop right there. I am just living. I'm living for the way that this looks right now. I think I wanna dip back into that orange just a bit, just so we don't lose that, and just add a little bit, keeping that same brush. I'm gonna take a different brush now. This is the E17, again, from that ColourPop collection. This is more of like a rounded brush, and I'm gonna dip into that yellow shade, and we're gonna focus that more on the inner part of the eye. You guys, the pigmentation on this is just really shocking me, and the way that these are blending into each other is just beautiful. I guess I've got kind of like a rainbow situation going on here, but whatever. I think it's fun. Definitely something different than what I would normally do. I think what I might do is get more of a precise brush and really deepen up my crease here. I'm gonna take, this is the E21, dip into Solar Flare again, because I think I kind of wanna, maybe possibly, I think I wanna cut the crease. So I'm gonna build that up here. You wanna build it up in the crease because then when you actually go in there, you're gonna have that intensity. I'm actually having a ton of fun creating this look. That's a good sign. I don't feel frustrated. I don't feel like I'm like aimlessly dipping into shades. I feel like I have a clear vision and I like that. I think I wanna even kick it up a notch. This all light right here shade that's even brighter of a yellow. I dip into that and put that on top of the other just to kind of even make it more intense. Now I'm actually bringing this all the way down into the inner corner. Perfect, you guys, look at the blend on this. It is looking beautiful. I'm glad I wore a black shirt today and I have a neutral lip going on because this is quite the intense look. Just gonna grab the first concealer that I see in my drawer, and this is the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on the back of my hand, like so. And I'm going to take this concealer brush right here that looks dirty, but just ignore that. This is the E4. I'm gonna pick up some of that concealer and we're going to cut the crease crease. I don't do this a lot, and no, I'm not just doing this because I just mentioned that I tried it the other day. I want my lids to appear larger than they are, and I want a clear cut crease because I have very hooded eyes. When you're doing this, you go above. So like this is above my crease right now. Every time I do something like this, I'm like, please be able to do it the same on the other eye as well. Right, good enough. So we're just gonna kind of go ahead and let that dry down. I like to pat it in with my finger. I don't want the concealer to be too thick. So now we need to figure out what I'm going to put all over the lid. There is this beautiful kind of iridescent green shade right here. There's also this beautiful gold shade right here. I believe that one is called Golden Hour, and I think that's the one that I do want to use. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my finger for this, pick up some of that metallic. See what I'm talking about? These metallics are just so much better than what I'm used to seeing from Morphe. I'm just gonna go ahead and tap that. I think I'm gonna focus it on the center of the lid. And then maybe we'll use one of those other shades more so in the inner corner. And we'll clean up these edges as well. I do think I'm gonna go in with this Sigma brush right here. This is the E55. I think that maybe using a brush will be easier, and I do wanna get this wet. I'm just gonna take some of the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Now, yes. Much easier, especially to get the intensity that I want. So yeah, these metallics are definitely better than what I'm used to from Morphe, but I do still feel like I'm working a little bit hard to get the intensity I'm looking for, but I still think that it's still a giant step up from the formula that I'm used to seeing from them. It's still really nice. It's going on and I'm able to work with it. That's the good thing. I've had better metallics. So now I think I'm gonna go ahead and use this iridescent green here, and I think that that will look pretty with the yellow portion that I have on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some of this on the finger. This one feels a little bit softer and almost like it's gonna be a lot more intense. But it blends out nice into that gold. Still not as reflective as what I want, but it does pack a bit more of a punch than the gold shade I just used. It's still pretty. I just want a little bit more of that reflection, you know? Digging it. All right, let's go ahead and deepen up the outer portion again. So I'm gonna dip back into Solar Flare with my E16 brush. I'm just gonna kind of run that along the edge so that nothing looks too harsh. Definitely more of a bold look. Let's just move on to the lower lash line. So I'm gonna take this smaller pencil brush. I'm gonna start off with Solar Flare. All along the lower lash line, we're just gonna get right into it. I like people talking really loud outside my window and it's really obnoxious. Back into this shade right here. I'm just gonna kind of put that a little bit underneath it just to blend everything out. I'm so pleased with how these matte shades are blending. I mean, yes, the metallics are not bad. They are better. I keep kind of driving that home. Better than what I am used to from Morphe, but I do just wish still, I don't know what it is. They lack like that brightness. And that's just what I always seem to notice. Again, these are much more pigmented, but they lack that. They lack that brightness. I almost forgot. We need to do something on the inner corners. I'm just gonna take this shade right here. Beautiful kind of like, it's almost got like a greenish champagne reflect to it. I'm gonna take the ColourPop E20. I'm just gonna put that right on the inner corners here. Now this one seems to have a little bit more of like that metallic-y reflect. It's a lot more intense. Do we wanna try some of the glitter? Yes, I think we do, because how can I dip into this palette and not play with the glitter? So here's what the glitter looks like up close. It's quite chunky, but it's beautiful. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think I'm just gonna put it kind of right here in the center of the lid. That's really fun, but it is already falling down onto my lashes a bit, which I don't love. Like I can see it right now. Like when I look down, I can see that there's like a chunk of glitter somewhere on my lash. Whatever, we're gonna live with it. It's fun, it's pretty, and I want to try it. It does transfer nicely onto the lid, and it definitely does kick the look up a notch. So I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know if I'm gonna put liner on with this one. I might not, but yeah, we'll see. I think I want to pop like a white or a nude color liner right here in the waterline, or maybe I'll use my orange liner that I got from Glossier. That would look beautiful with this as well, but I will be right back with the final look. All right, you guys, so this is the completed look, and I do have to say I am really happy with the way that it turned out. out. Let's go ahead and talk about the pluses of the palette. Number one, love the mirror. Number two, I love the size of the palette. I love the shade selection, the color story. I think that this is beautiful, spot on. It definitely gives me like Sunset Beats vibes for sure. Number three, the mattes in here are incredible from what I have tried. They blended so beautifully. They are pigmented, easy to work with. They pack a punch. They are true to color as what's in the pan. I am a huge fan of the mattes so far from what I've tried in this palette. The pressed glitter, I think it's really pretty. From initial application, I can see a couple pieces right now on my face where some of it fell, but it is glitter. It comes with the territory. Outside of the TATI Beauty palette, I have yet to find a glitter in a palette or a loose glitter or anything as far as a glitter goes that doesn't fall onto my lashes. It just is what it is. But I think that the glitter is really pretty. It's super fun. It's chunky. It's got a lot of bright reflex to it. I definitely think it could take a look up a notch if you're wanting to just jazz it up just a bit with some glitter, make it a little bit more fun. The metallics in here, they're all right. Are they the most beautiful metallics I have ever used? Absolutely not. Are they the absolute worst? No, they're just there. They didn't blow me away by any means. It's definitely really the only downfall of the palette, but there is only about, let's see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are only 6 metallics in this palette. So most of this, obviously the majority are going to be your matte shades, which is awesome. For the mattes alone, this palette is worth it. You can make the metallics work. Again, like I said, I just wish they packed more of a punch. This shade right here though, which one is that? That is the shade Moonrise. This one is beautiful. This one I didn't even have to get wet or anything or dampen my brush. I just put it on and it definitely had that kind of punch, that metallic reflect that I was looking for. This shade right here isn't too bad either. That one is the shade Spectacle, but that is one that had the pigment. It just didn't pack that shine, that intense metallic that I really wanted from it. Golden Hour Swatches intense, but again, I feel like it just ended up looking a little bit chunky. Started to, oh, I have a lash. Started to exaggerate some texture on my lids. And yeah, so that was my only beef there. But overall, I think the palette is still worth it. I think it's fun. I really like the collection of shades in here. No, I do not have an affiliation with Morphe. I don't have a discount code. They didn't send this to me. I purchased it myself. But as you could see, if you watched the tutorial portion of the video, that the mattes alone made this palette worth it. I love it, and I can definitely see myself reaching for this again. Final thought as well, this shade right here, which is the shade Daybreak. Love this. This is a beautiful mid-tone neutral shade that can just be perfect everyday transition, or if you just want to slap one shade on the lid, just add a little contour on a very natural, no makeup day, quick makeup day. You will absolutely love that shade. But yeah, Solar Flare right here, Orange Sky, just beautiful, beautiful mattes. So there you guys have it. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought of this palette. Did you pick it up? Did you even hear about the release? I didn't hear anything about this palette, but when I went on Morphe's website, it was listed under the new tab. So I hope I'm not making an idiot out of myself and talking about a palette that is new that really isn't that new, but it said it was new. Either way, nonetheless, beautiful. I think it's worth giving a shot. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it, share it, and of course, please be sure to subscribe to my channel before you go. I would love to have you around, and of course, hit that bell button. That way you get notifications when I upload new videos just like this one. I love you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye, guys.